My name is Maurice Fallon and I'm a lecturer in robotics in the University of Edinburgh. That's a tricky one. I'm usually trying to stay away from getting involved in robots that feel and think. I think that as robots become more advanced, we will want them to respond in a human manner, so that they can respond to us being angry by being more quiet or more polite. So I think that there is a need for it, but it's also tricky. We don't want them to behave in a very strange and odd manner, which would happen if we used today's technology. Not over the course of my career. I think people are working on robots that, when placed in a chair, can smile and raise an eyebrow or wink. But there is a thing called the Uncanny Valley. It's quite exciting. Quite an exciting idea. Is that if you start with a robot that's a vehicle with wheels that drives around, then nobody confuses that for a person. But as they get closer and closer to looking like a person, arms and legs, then they can become a little bit more confusing to people. And that concept is this uncanny valley, where the closer we get to making robots look like human beings, it can be a little bit confusing. More of a problem is not robots taking over the world, it is robots taking people's jobs. And this is something that people are very concerned about, that, for example, self-driving cars could put a lot of people who drive cars for a living out of work. And I think that it's very important that we think about the effects of technology and how they affect people. 100 years ago, people used to mostly work in farms. My dad's a farmer. And since then, we've got tractors, we've got factories that have robots to make things such that we now can have the opportunity to do a lot more work that deals with people and doesn't have to deal with physical labor and things like that. So there are pros and cons of making robots that can do more. I think that's pretty clear. It's space robotics. I mean, a lot of things that we know about what's outside of our planet have happened through things like the Mars rovers. So Curiosity is the famous rover built by NASA. It was a workhorse. It's been driving around, and different versions of it have been driving it around on Mars, picking up rocks, making measurements of the bacteria, or if they're looking for bacteria, looking for water. And that we're really learning about how the world works and how the planets work through robots.
It's one of the most difficult things nowadays. It is not because it's a damage, simply, as we say, collateral. There is a conflict, and naturally in conflict heritage is destroyed, but because it's a deliberate destruction.